So let me get. I need to get chat up. I need to get chat up. Should do that before I start streaming. Excuse me. All right. All right. I don't know why, but you know what? I need to do my stream title. Ugh. All right, update the title with I can never tell what a good title is. Okay, let's just naming is hard. Naming is hard. All right. Now I've been messing around with some stuff and I'm pretty excited about one thing. I got it so that I've got audio going from my desktop to the streaming PC. So, you guys should be able to hear if we want to play some music or something, we should be able to do that. All right. Okay. Sorry, I've been a little. Let's see. I just have one last thing. Okay, so yeah, I got it where I can actually play um the audio from my computer to the streaming Mac MIDI. So yeah, we can do some music or something eventually. It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Okay, so what are we doing today? Whatever we want. I was just gonna work on Eddington, I guess. I have some cleanup stuff to do. We got it deployed, which is pretty nice. And yeah, we'll just do some cleanup code. There's some stuff in the front end that we need to clean up, and there's some stuff in the back end that we need to clean up and actually get working. One of the things is we need to get a webhook endpoint made. So ori.sh. Where's the it's not really what I wanted. Maybe getting started. I want your documentation. Nope. Help. Documentation. There we go. We want the hooks. No, actions. They're called actions, Ori actions. Yeah. So basically, when a person registers, we want to have a webhook that they can call and us do stuff with. Mainly, I want to actually make a user in our database. All right. So for this, we need a webhook in the back end, and then we need to add the stuff in Ori. So let's go ahead and just do that here. Let's make sure we're on the correct branch. All right. So guess we're just gonna make an Ori. Ugh. Of course, I screwed that up. So, do we need? I don't think we need anything. So, should we? We've kind of been following this pattern with the other ones. So, if you look at like the controllers here for the users, first this should really be like this. I do like to keep the things similar in style. Okay, so the other thing that we've been doing though, we started a okay, and then this. The other thing that we've been doing, but we don't really need it, is we've actually been making this a struct. Because usually each one of these controllers has some sort of, not really state, but like connections to either database or whatnot. We don't really need that here though. So I'm thinking instead of doing this, we're just going to have yeah, I think we'll just do this. I think this will be fine. It's not 100% the exact same, but seems unnecessary to do the other. Add Ori routes. Okay. And then we won't have a type at all. And we need gen. And then let's see, we need our function here, which I forget what the function, this is what it is. Perfect. I'm not loving gen so far. It's not the worst thing in the world so far. I much rather Gorilla Mux. Man, I wish I had more time because like I would think about picking that up as like a project. I don't have the time to actually do that, but yeah. This is much more unfamiliar. All right, so our path is going to be yeah, let's see. Our path, ooh. I just got through saying how this isn't going to hold any state or any connections to anything, and it's going to, because it has to have a reference to the user controller, because this will have the new user call. So, oh well, there goes all that. Let's update this to be exactly like the other ones. Let's see, type Ori controller as a struct. and we want this user controller. We want a reference to this user controller. This isn't going to what? I mistyping there. This isn't going to automatically pick this up. I'm actually going to call this user controller. And actually, if we had GitHub Copilot on, it probably would pick this up. Let's see. We'll rename this to user controller. Let's see. There we go. Beautiful. It's actually pretty good at this. Like coming up with this, it's pretty good at it. Knowing which one that you want to actually pull in. Okay, so then we need this to actually be Ori controller. All right, add routes. And then we'll call this Ori webhook. Nice. And this will be o.ori webhook. And we'll have this under Ori webhook. Nice. Actually, we won't need Ori here because this will already be under Ori because that's how we have it set up. Beautiful. Okay, so this will just be their webhook. What have I done here? Why is this? Oh. I need this. Nice. Okay. And then actually all I need to do here is create new user in user controller service. Beautiful. Wait. We're going to have to change this. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just leave this like this for right now. I think we'll just probably pass the gin context into here. I'll have to think about that. Right, that way we can return an error if we wanted to. Okay. How's everybody doing this evening? Hopefully well. So if for any of you that are new, we're just working on integrating with Ori, something I haven't done before yet, and so we're kind of just messing around, seeing how it works. Yeah, we're creating a webhook for it. We have an interesting style setup of project, so if anything like looks weird to you, speak up. It might be just weird. It might be on purpose. Maybe. All right, let's see. So we have our controller. What was it? We'll just follow the same thing. New Ori controller. And that actually looks correct. So they're passing in a user controller to the Ori controller, and we return the Ori controller. Yep, perfect. Okay, so now we just have to fix up this create user to actually work. It was originally a call that people could make, but now it's going to come from Ori. And this is one thing that I don't know if this is probably not how they'll pass it in. So we'll have to figure out how they do that. Let's see. Actions, webhooks. All right. So here we go. So we have a clean reject list for a webhook. They should also sign it. When using webhooks, ensure that the data you send is secure and that the external systems are integrating with is trustworthy. Just make sure to secure the data privacy laws. Okay, but when they send us a payload, they should be signing it, right? It doesn't look like it. They should have some public key that we can decrypt it with, like to prove that it's them. We're gonna keep with blocking. Basically, we want it to we want it to block. Interesting. So again, usually when you do a webhook like this, you actually want to sign it. And that's how we can validate that it's from them. Source IP addresses are good, but they should sign the data. That wouldn't be that hard. We did this already once. So we have like a GitHub. We earlier in another stream in Rust, we actually did a GitHub webhook integration, and that's what we had to do. We had to actually parse the header and validate that the signature was correct. So I'm surprised that they don't, but all right. So the other thing is they don't have a UI to configure this. So a lot of Ori at this point, a lot of their UI is really rough. So they're like brand new. They've been an open source project and they're still an open source project, but we're using their hosted version, and their hosted version doesn't have a UI for a lot of stuff. So okay, so let's see how Jin will let us parse the IP addresses. Let's see. We'll put these in there. We're gonna throw these in there. So we'll just put them as vars up here. All right. So let's see here. Wait, what are you I guess we can just do this. All right, let's see. Is unused. Yeah, it's unused. Whatever. Let's see. There should be like a header, right? C dot header. Oh no, that's like what we're getting. Dot request dot header. All right, so we can just go ahead and check this. Oh, I've been doing Rust. Been doing Rust. All right, so if it's from Ori, we can go ahead. Otherwise, we'll be done. Yeah. This is not the cleanest way of doing this, but it will be fine. We could actually just see, that feels gross. I was gonna say we could make it a map where it's the key, so you just check if it contains it. Is that the right way to do it? I guess probably. Actually, let's do this. Let's do it that way. I kind of feel like that would be cleaner than this garbage. It would read better, right? I think it would read better. So we would need like a map, and then this would be of type string, and then really we don't care. Do we still have the? No, we don't have the Ori IP addresses still in our buffer. There we go. We don't really have a value to put in with these. So I'm just going to do that. Because then it's just the keys are just the IP addresses. And then we can just do contains. All right, so we'll want to just abort. Yep. Beautiful. Otherwise, we'll go on here. So basically, if it's not okay, so if the forward for it does not exist in the Ori IPs, we just abort. I like that. That's cleaner. That reads cleaner too. I cannot drink out of this thing. I need to get like a new bottle with like a straw or something. I'm not talented enough to drink like a child. Need a straw. Wait. Oh, let's see. Let's actually finish that. Okay. Now we just need to update our user model. Now, how did they say they were going to send us data? because they got to send us a payload. I think we actually have to encode what we want. Yeah, I was going to say, like, I believe we use JSONNet to tell them the data that we want. Or action webhooks have several configuration. Oh, wait, auth is here. Can be one of basic auth or API key, additional auth config for the hook. Oh, so like when I was talking about them, like encrypting it, that okay. Expand to learn how to configure webhooks in your Ori network. Why is this an expand? This is the how-to. I feel like this should just be part of it. That's weird. Follow these steps to start using webhooks in your project. Get the project configuration using Ori CLI. Where do I want to put this? I think actually this should go in our other stuff. CD null cloud. So I think this should just live in the deployments here. Although all of this stuff here has chronically or classically, not chronically, but I guess chronically too, but classically been deployed with Argo CD, and this won't be. A little bit different, but I think it can live here in deployments under infra. I think so, because actually some of the stuff in infra doesn't get deployed by Argo CD already. So I think we'll just have our Ori config sit here. All right. Now we can use this command, project ID. I might have to go cone of silence on you all. I might. I don't think the project ID is sensitive. I just don't know that I won't show something that is sensitive trying to find the project ID. So, one second. Cone of silence. Cone of silence. Let me go find the project ID. I'm learning Ori. I'm sorry. Not really sorry, but like I apologize for the inconvenience. If I knew Ori better. But this is kind of the fun. Now, they say project ID. There's this like slug, which is like how they refer. I think that's the project ID. Okay. I think this is the project ID, but I'm not entirely sure. Their dashboard has a little bit I need to contact these people, see if they will give me an interview, because I think what they're doing is pretty cool anyways. I want to share it. And also see if I can't get them to help me. I might need it. Okay, we're going to try this. We're going to try this as the project ID. We'll see if it works. This is they refer to this as the project slug in their other documentation. We'll see if it's actually We'll see if this worked. Ah, sweet. Oh, okay. I was like, I just leaked some key. Perfect, but that's not the case. That's just the URL base64 encoded. I see something that looks like this, and I automatically think I've just leaked a key. You know what? One second. Let me scan this really quickly before we go any further. Another cone of silence. Before I leak another key. I'm just scanning this document really quickly. Really quickly. All right, nothing else key looking like. You don't know how many keys I've had to reset because of I've been streaming. Some multiple times. All right, so we got our project configuration. This we'll have to update, but they actually require me to pay on the free one. You don't get that, so I'm gonna have to pay. I'm gonna have to pay, which is fine. Which is fine. Okay, let's see. We got it, and add the webhook to your project configuration file. I guess it's just a root self-service flows registration after. So after registration, yeah, this is what we're looking to do. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste this. Let's see. Actions in this section will be executed after registration with a social provider. Okay, so I would want. Okay, so this is for passwords. Actually, in this section will be. What if I want both? I just want to treat them the same. I don't discriminate like that. That sounded bad because that made it sound like I. Anyways, it's not exactly what I meant. Anyhow, moving on. Let's see if we can't add. So this was in self-service. Is there a self-serve? There is. I was selecting stuff. Okay, so there is self-service already here. Self-service flows registration. I am seeing all of this. Flows is here. Let's see. We have flows, registration, and after. So we're looking for the flow of registration. So this is login, log out, recovery, registration. All right, cool. And we have OIDC, passwords. Got it. This makes sense. Okay. So when they give you your configuration, they actually give the whole thing. That's actually kind of nice. That way you don't have to actually create this. It does make copy and pasting a little bit more painful because, okay. So let's look at what this is. We're saying for passwords, we want a webhook. Okay. With a config, post, body. What are they base 64 encoding here? What are they base 16 for? So this is like the body. Oh, is this like the JSON net? Because like they have the body encode JSON net template used to render payload. Oh, that sounds like it's gonna be painful. Okay, so we're gonna have to base 64 encode that and slap that in here. And then the response, we don't want to ignore. We don't need to parse. Basically, we just need to know whether it worked or not. If it didn't work, we need to fail their registration. You know, if we can't insert, if our service isn't there, we should just fail it. What does the auth here mean? Auth. Oh, this is like if their service needs to use an API key to access. Let's read the next section. Read the next section for detail. All right, let's see where that is. This is response. It doesn't have anything. So it does have something on customizing the request body with JSONnet. That's good. It doesn't have anything to do with their auth. So you know what? For right now, we're not going to auth. We're not going to force them to auth. But I think API key should be like we can generate them a key and just check that key. So I think that's what we'll do. So let's try to look at this. Okay, so have any of you used JSONnet? I'm gonna take that as a yes. I'm going to assume the affirmative whenever I ask you guys and you don't respond. All right. Webhooks bind the flow as well as request headers. request method and the request URL of the flow into the JSONNet template for all methods and execution path before and after. For after execution. Hey, Dutch. Yeah, I absolutely. So now I'm going to give this to you. This is not a sales pitch. I do not work for Ori and whatnot. I am also not an auth expert. Obviously, I say obviously, you obviously don't follow my YouTube channel. And I'm just started stream. I say I just started streaming. I just don't have a whole lot of followers. I've streamed for 6 months or so now, but so what is really cool about Ori is it tries to be the open source cloud native auth. So, there's a lot of auth projects. You can even go from Keycloak or Dex, although Dex is maybe a special case because, yeah, I'm sure you know what Dex solves. And I'm going to say limitations, but it's just not what it is designed for. Whereas Ori is kind of designed to be a simple all-in-one platform. Now, I'm using their hosted version, but you can self-host it. But the really cool thing is, if you take something like Auth0, one thing that really bugs me about Auth0 is it's kind of a one-stop shop, except it's kind of not. It does authentication really, really well, but it helps you nothing with authorization. And authorization is kind of tied to your users, which means it kind of seems like something they would help with. Now, what they have done is Ori, let's actually check out their GitHub really quickly. Ori has a couple projects in their ecosystem that kind of ties everything together. So if you look here, and it's fairly easy to deploy. Now, again, we're not running it, and I'm just learning Ori myself. So again, while I say this stuff all looks awesome, I've never actually used it. We are just now implementing it and using it. So, Keto is one thing that really has interested me. I've never actually seen a place that implements Google Zanzibar, but it was a really cool paper that I really liked. And it's something that I would like to provide in my service is a really powerful RBAC. And so basically the Ori ecosystem comes with these things. So, Keratos is the two-factor authentication, social sign-in, passwordless flows, registration, blah, 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 blah. Your kind of your standard stuff. Then they have Hydra, which is the OAuth 2 and OpenID Connect provider. And then OAuth Keeper is their zero trust network proxying and sidecar for ingress. So I think we're going to try to use this with Cluster API. Right now, not Cluster API, but Istio. We're not going to worry about that right now. Right now we're doing really, really basic stuff, and we'll ramp it up. But this looks pretty cool. And then obviously Keto, which I'm pretty excited about. So I don't know if that helps explain it. As far as you have your Keycloaks, you have your Identity Server 4. I think Identity Server 5 went closed source. You have, I was gonna name some more, but my brain is blanking. It's kind of late, long day. We'll just leave it at those. But you have some other open source projects, and this is kind of like a new rendition that's kind of easy to run on Kubernetes. Fairly easy. I have run it on Kubernetes. I just don't want to manage it right now. As far as if you're newer to the stream, I do artificial intelligence, Rust, and Go. So machine learning, Rust, and Go. That's like the main things that we do here. You were a Go shop? Cool. So I haven't touched Go for like 2 years, so I'm a little rusty. And I've been doing a lot of Rust. But this project, Eddington, is I have always thought. Now I know that you're gonna think I'm crazy, and this is probably a really big thing to do on stream. But so far we've done it on stream, and it's kind of working so far. If you go to Firefox, well, any browser, any browser will work. And this actually doesn't look really good because this is on a 4K monitor. And we found out it doesn't look real good on. But you can go to the Null Cloud. This is what we're building, Project Eddington, which is an open source project. The Null Cloud. I found out. I used to be a huge person on infrastructure as code. I pushed it in my socials and whatnot. And then I realized that the only reason I like infrastructure as code is because I have to manage infrastructure, and I don't like managing infrastructure. Even if you're on AWS and you use RDS to have a database, you still have to have infrastructure as code to manage the stupid database. But what you really want to do is you just want to write an app and it to just have a platform that will deploy it automatically. So that is what we're going to try to do. I'm working on actually a couple white papers on how will do some of those things. So this is a place to experiment and try to make a infrastructure as codeless platform because it's all automatic. CloudFormation or Terraform. That's what I'm saying. Like this. For the Null Cloud, the goal is that there will be no such thing as a Terraform provider for it. Not that you couldn't make one if you wanted to, but the fact is you don't need to. So the very first edition of this, which almost works, we don't have users right now. That's what I'm making the login working. But the first part, and this already works from like the technical backend part, you point it to a repository and it will automatically run whatever that repository is. It will build an image for it. We only support a few languages right now, but it will build an image for it. It will deploy it in a container, and it can scale that container and whatnot. So it's a lot. We work on it in the evening some, and I do it on Saturday mornings. We'll experiment. Things will fail. Things won't go as we plan, but that's kind of the goal, is infrastructureless provider. I don't know. Yeah. So anyways, thanks for joining. And thanks for following. I super appreciate that. I am a little bit rusty, so feel free to call me out. Like I said, I haven't touched Go for a little bit. I've been doing a lot with Rust. So. Oh, well, okay. So this is where we were. We created a webhook for Ori to call, and we were looking at how Ori sends the payload. Now, this is where we get to define in a base64 encoded JSON net how they send us information back. So the body response. And I don't quite understand this. To send the user ID with some ID in the request body, create the following JSON net template. All right. So, okay. Oh. So I guess we can just kind of use anything out of this context. So they use context.identity.id. So let's look at identity. Identity should be a property in here. Identity ID. So this is their ID. Okay, cool. We wanted their ID, and I'd be good with just their ID at this point. I was thinking we would have, let's see. And this is not going to come in form URL. We're going to have to parse this as like an object, which I think is fine. So we were going to do name and email. Their email should be part of this. Can I search this? Yeah. So type its email. And another thing, I don't know, and you know what? If somebody wanted to come in and tell me like this stuff was boring, I wouldn't do it on stream. But like I have been so far, just doing everything pretty much on stream. Like I don't do everything because sometimes I just don't feel like streaming. But like for the most part, everything. Even like I've never integrated with the Ori. So let's go figure it out. I don't know what this means by traits here. That's on the identity object. Maybe we have to. I mean, we'll have to play around with it. I think this is what we want for their email. It's like something at ori.sh. I wish they had said example, which would have made it a little bit clearer. It's weird that they put that under trait. But let's go ahead and just use that one because that's what looks right. So we'll need traits is under so identity.traits.email. Okay, I think. Let's try making this. Let's try making this. Now, we did this over here. We're going to make this over here as well. This is actually in our deployment. We're deploying all of this with Argo CD. This can't be because this is part of Ori, but I'm saving all the deployment files in here as well. So let's do webhook return JSONnet. I guess it's .jsonnet. Payload. I'll just call it payload. Payload template.json. What's your thoughts on JSONnet? That's not exactly what I meant at all. I guess I could have just... That was a long way of deleting it. I wanted to copy this. I have had very little. I think I would like JSONnet if it wasn't for the fact that it, to me, it feels like yet another YAML. I actually realized that JSONnet has like some really cool concepts to it, but I don't know when you put functions in static files, I feel like it gets gross. So I hope that I can do what I'm doing here. So I'm going to do user email. You know what? I really don't. If this is stored in the Ori system, I don't know that I need to have it, but we're going to go with this. CTX dot identity. I think I misspelled that. All right. I think I don't know if there needs to be a. I feel like there needs to be a comma between these two. Let's see if I can't find another example. All right. Let's see. Another example. Maybe I did. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So yes, there's a comma. Ha. Although here's not a comma. So I'm guessing that there was supposed to be a comma. Maybe this is a bug because there's a comma here too. So I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Maybe I should just copy theirs. Theirs looks a little bit better, except we don't really need the custom data. But maybe having these traits with like a name, like a friendly name, like instead of just their email, would be good. I think I'm going to go do that. Oh wait, interesting. Oh no, this was identity. Okay, so they use the same email one that we picked out. Cool. All right. So here's their author's authentication. Web configured to use HT basic authentication or API key. API key. So we just give them the value of a key, and then we can check for it. So we'll probably do this. We'll do it like really simple, and then we'll do like a real API key authentication. Probably better than basic auth. Okay. Let's see if we can't add that over here. It's tough finding ghost streams on Twitch. Is that true? Now, I do warn you that I do also write Rust. So you could get caught on either. I guess, yeah, I would agree. I don't see a whole bunch of Go streams. Unfortunately for you, I'm not good at Go. Okay. Let's see. Is this? I thought that this was in. Oh, okay. I see. So it's this hook right here. So we have the OIDC, we have the password. And then we have a list of hooks here. So this is pretty much what we're kind of doing here. Okay. And then we have the session hook. I got it. And now that I said go, we're just editing YAML. Isn't this what you wanted to see? All right, so this is a webhook. The URL is going to be nullcloud.io /Ori webhook. Right? Yeah. I think that's what we're shooting for right now. We still need to do this. So the response we won't ignore. Okay, and then now for auth, let's configure auth to be something. Let's look back down here. We'll do this. That did not. All right, that. Oh, okay. I don't know. That's not. I need to do like 4. There we go. Let's see. Not quite right. Not quite right, but I think that should work now. So we have our auth, we have our type, we have our config. Okay. We'll put, now we need a value. All right, there we go. We have a value. We'll come up with one. Now we need to base 64 encode. Let's see. We need to base 64 encode this project here. We're gonna actually rename that to pay. We'll rename that with a dash just to keep it consistent. All right, and then we'll base 64 encode it. All right, so let's see. Base 64. I think it's encode and encode, and then I think it looks for a file. This is just going to go off a file, right? I don't have to pass it file or something, right? Nope. Encode is not. No, it's encode, right? I'm losing my mind here. Okay. So base 64 encode or decode file or standard input to standard output. Wait. Yeah, so it's given a file, but oh, do I not have to pass it encode? I thought for sure I had to pass encode. Okay, my bad. For some reason, I guess maybe it's just decode that you have to pass. I don't use it that often. Yeah, okay. I got really lazy with Kubernetes and like those things also need to be base 64 encoded, but you can use kubectl to create the resource, which has been fantastic. And I was gonna say, actually, decode is the place I use it because, like, usually it's like, oh, Kubernetes gave me it encoded, like your secrets are all base 64 encoded or whatnot, and it's like, so I use decode all the time, so I just figured it was encode as well. Yeah. All right, so I guess we just put this. I think we just put this right in here. This feels rough to me, but I'm not judging. That actually probably has new line issues here. I believe one, there's an extra period. Did I do that period? Yeah, there's an extra period. Okay, I got rid of the period. I also feel like there's some new line issues here. All right, I think that's better. Last time I checked, base 64 didn't have new lines. Oh, oh, okay. All right. So I think we can apply this. So we have our webhook. Just for password, we'll have to redo all of this for like OIDC. Yeah, it's up here for like OIDC logins too. But I think it's actually just the same. I think I can actually just. Can I just? I don't know if this is okay, but it's what I'm doing. Oh, that was 1 second. Please ignore what I just did there. That's not exactly what I wanted to do at all. I meant one thing. I gotta go back and yank this. Wait. Hooks. Yeah, this is the hook that I want to yank. Sorry, I'm not a Vim expert. I actually only like. I guess I haven't used Linux for a long time. So I'm a little slow to the Vimming. All right, now we should just be able to apply this, right? I don't know how Ori does that with their command line. We can just reverse engineer it. I used to be I when I very first started software, it was a Windows shop, so I did a lot of Windows, and then I did a lot of Android. All right, so Ori get identity config. So I'm guessing there's like an Ori push identity. Oh, okay. So Ori update, yeah. C# mono. Oh, cool. So mine was. I'll one up you. Mine was .NET forums, like the old school C#. It was like a business tool, and it was horrifying. The other thing that I did in that, I will never forget. One of my best mentors. One of the reasons I do all of these things is because of him. He really helped me a lot. The look in his face when I went to town and I coded this. I've done a lot of math, and like the math that I solved was actually pretty cool. But it was all in one file, and it was something like 13,000 lines of code in one file. It was a horrible disaster. And you should have seen his face when he saw that. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then yeah, I moved on to Java and Android. And then I got a job working on Kubernetes, which was awesome. And that's when I started using Go, and now I've moved more into management, and so I just code less. So it's not my strongest. Oh, I actually got acquired by my. Oh, cool. All right, so we can just do Ori update. Now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the Ori get. Ori get. Here we go. And then we just have file, so we have to change it to update, and this is file. Oh, that's awesome. That you know what? Working on or getting to work on some of that code is actually pretty awesome. I think I think it's pretty awesome. Uh, Failed to parse YAML file. Error converting YAML to JSON. Line 82. Guys, I messed up. I messed up. Oh, oh. See, I actually skipped all that. I went from Windows Forms to Android. So I didn't have to worry about. Um, this is where, like, if you put down, like, not resume style, but if you put down, like, the technologies I've actually touched, it's very random because I've also done a rendering pipeline on GPUs and CUDA for Windows application. So like DirectX, Windows shaders, and CUDA, and then also Java, and that was in C++, and then also Java, and then C# forms, and then Go and Kubernetes. It's like all over the place. Nobody would hire me if they knew that. All right, we have a problem on 82. It does not like. Oh. I think this is indented one too many. which means we got to bring all of this down one. Let's go. And we'll have to do that down here too. Absolutely. I think, Dutch, you're right. Sometimes it does hurt sometimes because, like, sometimes I'm not as fast because, like, you'll get somebody who's, like, done React and it's like, oh, yeah, they know the problem instantly. Can I figure it out? I can figure it out eventually. Eventually is the key word there. The request was malformed or contained invalid parameters. Key project in the URL path is not a valid UUID, incorrect UID length. Okay, wait a second. Key project in the URL path. Are they talking about this right here? But that's what I got the project with. That's what I did Ori Git with. What did I do wrong? Did I screw this up? 1 second. Ori Git. No. What did I do? Ori Git. Why Ori Git? I mean, this is the command that I use to get the config. In the URL path is not a valid UID. Wait. URL path is not a valid UUID. Are they talking about... 1 second. This... No, they have to... I mean, they're not talking about that because that would have been null cloud whatever. So the only thing I changed in here was these hooks. I just added these hooks, right? So you think it's this Hungry Jennings... Right. But that's like the UR... That's what I use to get it because that's my I don't think there's any... If you see something secret, let me know. That is the I don't know where else I can click. 1 second. I gotta cone of silence you. 1 second. Cone of silence. That is my project slug. That is the identity of this project. Let me find the Oh, okay. But that's what I did a Git on. So I don't know what I got if that's not it. Ori list projects. So it's this that I gave, the slug. But is it this ID that they're wanting? I guess. I mean, literally, Ori get. This is what I use to get it, but I guess when you're pushing, we will use the UID. The UID. So let's go back to our update, and instead of this, we will use this here. Warnings were found. So I think it's fine to ignore these warnings because I don't think we only changed the webhooks. So I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Cool. Now, I have a question. How do I test this? Except literally in production. I guess what I have to do, because like they have this URL and it's not a list. Like I can't give it two URLs because what I was thinking was like I could give it two where like oh, it escapes me, but I could do something where I run locally and expose it. But why can't I think of that project's name? Where you can run locally and it will give you a public address. It starts with an ngrok, right? Yeah, ngrok it. But that means that I guess this is just something you set and you forget. I guess we're testing in production. That's fine. Production is garbage right now, anyways, because you can't log in. So, but I was hoping that they would give us some way to send a webhook. Like, could we have it pushed to a specific place? You know, like just have it send a fake one? Because like how else do I test this? Maybe the Ori CLI has a way to do that. So the Ori CLI has a way to proxy. I wonder if I can config this to proxy the webhooks across. Ori debug. A little passive aggressive, I feel like. I see no incoming requests from Ori Web. Well, I should. So okay, so either that or I just configure it with ngrok right now, and then I I think maybe that's what we do. So that sucks for production though, because if I have to do that for production, there's no way for me to test something without like having a full another area. So the whole system runs on Kubernetes. Or you're saying my system runs on Kubernetes. Now, we could self-host Ori, and my plan is to in the future self-host Ori. Right now, I'm gonna pay them their $30 a month to host it because I'm just trying to get the other systems out. But one of the things that I thought would be really cool with the system was, you know how much I hate authentication? I think it would be really cool if you just got authentication for free. Like you just use it in your app and it just works and it's all configured for you and all of that. So I would love to actually work with Ori to provide that inside of that eventually or whatnot. But so for right now, I'm not hosting the Ori stuff in Kubernetes. Just because I'm limiting the number of things that I actually manage at this point. But yeah, all of our stuff, we can open up the manifests over here. All of our stuff is in this Null Clouds deployment, and this is all Argo CD stuff. So I just wrote up a bunch of Argo CD applications, and we deploy all of our stuff with Argo CD. Our infrastructure is actually on bare metal with K0s. So if we go here and do K get context K use this is it's running right now, which is pretty cool. So we use Metal LB, we use Cert Manager, all the standards, I think. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I'm working on actually getting it so I can monitor the stream somewhere where I can actually see the stream is all the way over here. So if you see me doing this, that means I can actually see what the stream looks like. That's not super helpful. So I actually have a bracket to set up so that I can kind of look at you guys and actually see what the stream looks like. So hopefully that doesn't happen as much as it does. My bad. Sorry, I'm not super great at the streaming thing yet. I do this mostly because I want to help people learn. I had a lot of people in my life that helped me learn. And so yeah, I'm paying forward. That's what my YouTube channel. I do a lot of Kubernetes stuff there. Right now, for the last like 2 months, I've been doing my Rust course. But I'm itching to get back to some Kubernetes stuff. Almost done. Like 3 more lessons, and then I'm done with the Rust classes. But yeah, so this is the K0s cluster. We're using Istio for better or for worse. Yeah, I get it. I really like Rust. I really do. Eddington, that's the code name for the Null Clouds project. It's an open source project. If you want, I believe I just set this up. I think you can do GitHub. Yeah. So anyways, my YouTube channel name is the Null channel. You can go there. All the code for all of this is open source. So hopefully this will be an open source platform, Eddington. It is in Go since it's all around Kubernetes. Felt like Go's the right choice for it. So yeah. All right, so now we need to actually parse. We need to make a struct for this. So let me go back to users. Let's see. We're gonna go here. So the models. This is actually the database model. I'm using Bun. I've never used Bun before, but Bun is for better or worse, it's an ORM. Giving it a try. So models is the database. Types is the types. This is dumb. So let's do type. Let's see. We are creating a user. Let's see. What did let's see. All right, so we have user ID, which is will be a string as a GUID, and then we have a subtype. I'm not sure I like how I made this. I think I copied theirs. Shame on me. Okay, it should have just been flat. I don't know why I did like this hierarchy here. Like, I know that's what they did, but whatever. What's done is done. So let's sorry, brain farting for a little bit. Okay, so then we'll do type user traits. Let's see, we have email, we have name. Oh, this is a good point. We have name. Newsletter consent. Oh, that's actually probably a good one. Newsletter. Doesn't need to be. Does it? I've been doing this wrong for a long time then. I'm not going to question you. I've done this wrong for like 4 years. There's some code that could be rewritten. There's some code that could be rewritten. All right. Well then. I'm trusting you, dude, because like I said, I just generally capitalize for public. So like if a linter doesn't pick that up as being wrong, I would never think twice. I can tell you I've done this quite a bit. On public structs. Yeah, so I mean, I learned something new every single day. Now, one thing I have a question of in this, we did this. Is that going to, like, in the JSON, is it going to be user underscore ID? Because if so, I need to, like, change this to not that, because that's what they had. But this is actually now super confusing to me because no, they didn't do the. Why did I do the underscore? I don't know why I did the underscore. It was super dumb. I don't. I don't know why I did that. All right. So you know what that means? We got a base 64 encode. Base 64 encode. Yeah, yeah. I'm fixing it. Look, I'm fixing it. It's not that big of a deal if it's just the so I mean, honestly, if it's just the JSON coming in, it's not that big of a deal because you're going to do this anyways. Like my user ID didn't have it. It was just the JSON coming in because of the JSON net. But I fixed that, so but you said they were public because the oh gosh, what did I do? You said that they were public because they've got to be public, right? Okay, okay. Right, because they're not exposed outside the module, I don't think. So even, one second, I think we can do it. Oh, I forgot that the line endings were wrong on this. Give me just a second. That is not what I meant to do. Let's see. I meant that. All right. Sorry. I had to focus. I was vimming. Please, I have to focus, or liable to get. Oh. So be careful, Dutch. Please be careful. Nightbot is a little out of control. Nightbot will very viciously silence you, and I have no control. The bots are taking over. I literally have no control. We have searched for an option to be like, don't silence people. I don't want random people just coming up. As soon as you've been here for a little while, you'll 100% get added to the well, I'll probably add you. I can add you here soon anyways. Since yeah. But anyways, just it's to prevent people from just coming in and posting a bunch of garbage. But I've done that in code. Accidentally tried to do it. What were you trying to send this to me for? But okay, this doesn't actually prove anything here, because this is in the same package. And what I was going to say is, this is in package types, and it's going to be used in package controllers. So even if I wasn't using JSON, it wouldn't break. That wouldn't be a problem. I still think it would be a problem. And this is complaining. Struct field email has JSON tag, but is not exported. So yeah, don't post another. 1 second. Let's go fix your Nightbot problem. Nightbot is supposed to be there to keep people from being turds. 1 second. I just have to add you to regulars. And don't abuse this, or else, you know. All right. Yeah, if you do it a second time, if you pasted a link a second time, it would literally delete all your messages. Nightbot goes rogue like that on me occasionally. Well, I feel bad because Nightbot's a little aggressive. Nightbot's a little aggressive. Like, come on. Could you just not delete all of their conversation? Like, I wouldn't care so much, except like Nightbot's like, no, on your second offense, it will silence you and delete all your messages. Uh, well, you should be able to post links now. I generally try to keep PG 13 ish. So all right. You think it should work across packages? So this is where I was thinking that across packages, I can test it too. Uh, I'm just waiting for the ads to be done. Oh, so I think instead of this, just let's see. What did I call that? Are the ads done? Are they done? Can I tell if they're done or if they're running? I think they're done. Okay. All right. Well, sorry about that. I have them as short as possible, pushed apart as far as possible. That's all I can do. I literally can't. Like, okay, so I'll be honest. Like on my Saturday stream, I have like 5 people, 6 people maybe, if it's a good Saturday, and I'll make like 5 to 10 cents. So I'd rather just nobody had ads. Like that is not nearly worth it to make people suffer through ads. um so anyways. Okay, I actually have a question for you. Yeah, Twitch needs money. Twitch needs money. Okay, so I'm not losing my mind. That's awesome. Sweet goodness. Sweet goodness, not losing my mind. Now, quick question for you, because this has actually been a burning issue that I've had. I have gone every single time I've made a project in Go in the past 5 years, I have used Gorilla Mux. But as of December, January this year, Gorilla Mux is no longer a thing. So like, what are people using? I'm trying out Jin here, but like this has almost made me decide to just use Rust for the API for the REST service, because like I'm not so far I'm not a huge fan of Jin. Maybe it will grow on me. I'm giving it a try, but the other thing that I don't like about it is like Jin passes around its own context. It doesn't use the standard library. It uses the Jin context. And so like it's not plug and play with any standard library thing, but I didn't find a good standard library. Gochi. I don't know if it's pronounced Gochi. I saw Gochi. I have not seen Echo. Gochi is? Okay. I never seen Echo. Jin is incredibly big. It's incredibly monstrous. And I honestly don't need that. I don't have a ton of routes right now. So like right now, I think I could rewrite everything in a day or two. So like and I only stream for like an hour or two. So like it's not, except on Saturdays. I stream for a long time on Saturdays, like 4 hours, sometimes more. Go chi. Fibber. I've never heard of Fibber either. Oh my gosh. Go Fibber. I don't like that. So like I guess maybe Chi is the best one for me. Like I just don't like the fact that they don't use the like every single I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being silly. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right, where is the Nightbot mod for snarky people? I need that's another thing that we need to do is we need to do a little ML because I want a passive aggressive bot that just responds to people in chat. Like if it, like what I want to do is I want to train it on snarky people because there's another person called Russell that you'll really appreciate. And Russell also is very snarky and I want it to argue with him. Okay. All right. Well, I won't worry about those right now. This is all a disaster here. Really? A file server and UI, and they requested you did not use any routing packages, so you just had to do it all by hand? It was a coding interview. You had to make a file server and UI without any as a coding interview? As a You spent 2 weeks. That's just not. I'm sorry. That's redonkulous. All right, so we don't have the context in here anymore because we're handling the context elsewhere. So this should just be error. Yeah. Now, this is not correct. This should error because our user model is actually this. We don't have all this other information that we got. But actually, I do like some of this information, so like maybe we will incorporate it. These user traits. So like, you know what? I will say this. I've done a lot of interviewing. And interviewing is hard. Good interview is hard. What I have come to is that I actually kind of do. You know, remember the old books where it's like pick your path? I have like 4 different interviews people can take, and I let them pick which one they want to do. So I'll give you the classic interview, if that's what you'd like, or you know, I think my stream is my stream okay? My stream says it's okay, but it also doesn't look okay. Okay. Whew. I don't know. My internet sometimes is not great. And I live in a city. But uh interviewing is hard, but I've gone to letting them pick their path because you know, some people I have found that like some people don't like performing. And if you ask them in a 1.5 hour coding interview to do these 2 challenges, whether they could solve them or not, they don't like performing. You know, even I would say that I'm not the best at performing. I'm way slower coding when I'm coding on Twitch. It makes me super nervous, even though I'm just doing stupid easy stuff. If they pick the coding challenge where they actually like have a take home. One, I have had everybody on my team do the coding challenge themselves and ensure that it shouldn't take them longer than an hour. So whatever the coding challenge is, doesn't take somebody that they know it well. and that's because it's targeting hopefully like 2 or 3 hours for somebody that doesn't know, and they don't actually know the problem ahead of time. The people on the team, I just gave it to them and asked that they tell me exactly how long it took them, and so that we made sure that if they could all complete it in an hour, then we could expect people not to take more than 2 hours. That was the idea. So basically, the other, and the last one, and this is actually the one I like the most, although not many people take me up on it. If you've written open source code, you have a pull request open to a project like Kubernetes or something like that, and you want to go over the the coolest thing that you did and explain that code to me. If you want to walk through a pull request that you have open and do a review on that pull request, I actually love those. Now, not everybody has those like open source projects that they can do that, but every single person that has done that usually passes, except for like maybe I had one person who like wanted to show me a pull request that was like 2 lines long, and I was like, okay, well, do we have anything else? But you changed your GitHub account. Oh man, my GitHub account is the stupidest name. But I can't change it now. I can't change it. Like my Kubernetes access has gone through that. Like changing it now would be. There are so many projects, so many things that's tied to. Issues when you create a GitHub account in your teens. Yep. Yeah, I have the stupidest name. It's the same name as this Clavinex. That's my GitHub name too. I am going to change this to Null Labs. I'm changing my YouTube videos to Null Labs. It's just fun. I'm making a video on why I like the word null, and I think it's impacted the industry and actually done great things for it. All right, back to this. All right, let's just borrow this for right now in our model. Maybe not the best thing to do. I kind of like the date. You know what? I'm not going to. I'm actually going to copy and paste this. I know everybody just gut tightened a little. I don't like my database being tied to my HTTP requests. Like my database model shouldn't be tied to them. They shouldn't need to be the exact same thing. And yeah. So, anyways. So, like in here, I actually want them to have the ability to have multiple emails. And so in the database, we will do that. Okay, I forgot. We got to bun this. We got to bun this out. So we want a bun relationship, right? I forgot we were doing this is bun. I can't just put a trait on there. Okay, so how this works. We got to. Oh gosh, I was not prepared for this. We don't actually. Let's see. We do this inverse. So we don't actually put traits in here. Because these are like tables. We put that we belong to a user ID, and user belongs to join user ID on ID, And it belongs to this user. I think this is how you do it in Bun. I'm learning Bun too. So basically, we can get the traits that belong to this user. We're going to allow him to have... we do need a... Good call out. We do need a primary key. What should the primary... I guess the primary key could be the user ID, right? There should be only one traits for user ID. I think. Let me think. Let me think this through. Yeah, I think this is fine. And that will make this look up really quick and easy. Now, I do feel like this is a little stupid because now, like, the user ID is just literally, this is the Ori ID. Same as Ori. And I guess this also has to become a string. And then this is also not auto increment. All right, and we are changing this to... We're changing this to user ID, just to keep things consistent, because I haven't been. I believe Bun used the underscore. Let's actually go check that out. I believe they used the underscore. Go Bun. For their referencing. Let's see. Getting started. Scanning. Table relationships. Yeah. They use underscore for when it's a capitalized. No. So what I'm going to do, and this sounds bad, but I don't know of a better way to do this. We're gonna just make a function that makes one of these out of one of these. So we're gonna serialize this from the JSON, and then we're going to make a database model out of it. The reason I want to do that is because every single time I've ever linked an ORM to like a over-the-air thing, it creates this tight coupling. And so then, like, if something in Ori changes, or whatnot, I can literally break my database model. And my database model is really what I want. And now I realize Ori is actually giving me the power to send what I want in their in their request, which is actually cool and powerful. But that doesn't always happen. That's not always the case. I don't always get to pick what they send me. A lot of the times, you know, if it's another third-party thing, I get sent what I get sent, and what's in my database shouldn't be necessarily a mirror of that. Also, wait. These shouldn't be JSON, right? These should only be Bun. They should only be Bun. Oh, I copied and pasted. That's why. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, I feel like there's no real win way because then somebody's gonna come in and be like, "Oh, why do you have this transformer method?" And then you're just like, "Well, I've been burned the other way." And then you're like, you'll get burned this way too, where you're like, "Ah, because I had the transformer method, I had to actually like actually update it." Um, I don't know that this is useful. I'm not sure why this existed. You know, I'm going to keep it just in case we were actually using it somewhere. I might have been using it for debugging purposes. Um, so so this is weird. If I get a user, I won't have a trait with it. But I need to have a trait. There needs to be like a inverse, like has one of. Instead of the belongs to, there has to be a has one of, yes? Table relationships. This is belongs to, let's see. See examples for details. Relationships belongs to has one. Relationship has one. This is what we're looking for. Where's their model? Oh, here we go. So a user has a profile. Okay, cool. This is how they do it. Relation has, because what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to query for a user and get their profile, or not their profile, but their traits. Oh, this looks like I can actually just do this and delete this because I don't need the relationship this way anymore since I have it this way. But that's my primary key. 1 second. That's my primary key. I mean, I could just give it an auto ID. I guess that's what they're doing. Yeah, traits will just need their own ID instead of just the user's ID. Okay. So we'll delete this. We'll give traits their own ID. And then this will be traits. That way we can reference this like traits.name. Yeah. Emails. Beautiful. Brenda format %D has our user ID. Oh. 1 second. This is wrong too. All of these are strings, right? Yeah. Yep. No, I don't hate you for it. Go for it. Yeah. It is redundant. Now, what's weird here, maybe I'm overthinking it here. So on here, they have profile with an ID and user with an ID. But on profile, they have a relation has one join ID equals user ID. So is this user ID this underscore the field name? Because then I've been doing it wrong probably. Is if that's referring to this and then the field name. So like I'm gonna say the table and then the field name. Okay. Okay, so I think I understand that a little bit better now. So this is going to be this ID equals. That's not true, though. So this is ID auto increment. Are they saying these are the same? Dude, I'm about the same with you. I'm about the same with you. So yeah, no, you're good. Um so oh, they have the user ID field here. They have the user ID field here. So this is this field here. This user ID underscore is actually on. Yeah. This is very confusing. Yeah, it is. It is. I'm there with you. So this right here is not referring to this. This is referring to a user ID field here. So they give an auto incrementing primary key, which doesn't make sense to me. Like, I feel like you would just use the user ID, but maybe you can't do that in this sort of relationship using Bun. Because there's really no reason to have this, in my professional opinion. Except I'm not sure that you can make this work. Okay. So I think I have it. We have a user ID. We're saying the ID is equal to this user ID. Stellar. Like I said, I could not stream learning to use Ori or learning to use Bun, but I figured that's part of the fun. I figure that's part of the fun. All right, there we go. And now all we need to do is basically let's return a model from. Let's see. No, I don't want this. What I would like is what is this called? I'm gonna just say, let's just call this a create user request. Maybe this should be in its own file. Also, don't feel free to call me out. Sometimes I just write some stuff and go back and clean it up, but it's also good to just clean it up in the first place. Create user request to DB. I'm not sure I like this. But we'll see what Copilot did. Let's see. This would be types dot create user request, returns a user, and it returns user ID. Oh, I like it. It did it, except that it didn't get the types. And it even caught that I have an array of emails, like you could have multiple emails in my system, and that Ori was only giving us a singular email. Cool. Minor Fs, yeah. I also, if I do something really bad, I have 2 emojis on this channel. I'm working on some better ones. Well, I say better ones. One's pretty fantastic. This is we have the this one, which we had the AI games where we tested all the coding AIs, and those are concluding this weekend. And that was when that's the Mockingjay from the Hunger Games, and but it's the AI version, so it actually has 7 fingers because AIs classically have 7 fingers or multiple more fingers than needed. So we have that one. Also, if I do something particularly bad, I have a good old nope. So feel free. And they're free for any follower. Joseph Any, do you like any files? Is that what that is? I see that on there. You promoting any files on this channel? Thanks for the follow. We actually have a redonkulously awesome Twitch alert AI that's currently working, but it's broken. But it's broken at the same time. It's working, but it's broken. So it's sitting here working and running. I should have shown you guys this. But thanks for the follow. Even if you're pushing any files. So we have these Twitch alerts running here. I haven't checked to see if it's actually kget logs dash I always say git logs. And then I always put pod in there too. And then it always I just can't type. All right. So, check this out. When you followed, now the front end is broken right now, but when you followed, there was an AI that created a personal message just for you, Joseph Any. In the realm of adventure, a stoic wanderer named Just Pass Any? I'm probably destroying your name. I apologize. Emerged from the shadows with a mysterious past and unparalleled skill. He was sought by many. One fateful day, your path converged as I saved you from a treacherous dragon's teeth. You're impressed with my heroism. This AI is... You know that I wrote it because it is infatuated with me. 100%. Oh, Joe's Passeni. That's probably makes more sense. And I'm sorry I just offended you with my destruction of your name. This AI is 100% just smitten with me. I need to we need to train it to be a little less worshiping of me in a little bit, because it's supposed to be a welcome message to you, but kind of written in a D&D style. He pledged his allegiance. It always says pledges his allegiance. It's the worst. It's the worst. I cannot control these AIs. Anyways, we wrote this all in Rust. It's been fantastic. The UI part is broken right now, but it runs in Kubernetes. And you know what? We had another follower earlier today, right here. Wait, no. Oh, my logs. I don't know if I hold up. Oh, this is I don't have the log space. I don't think. I think it keeps 1 second. We'll get up there to you. Okay, here we go. Here. Oh no, I think it keeps jerking me to the beginning of the thing. I will get yours out there, Dutch. You got a personal message too. You did. It's just way back there in the logs. Way back there. Anyways, that's some of the fun stuff we do. Actually, you want to know why the front end's broken? The front end is broken because I don't know what to do next. It's so broken. Kget all. So we have this node port service here. You know what, Dutch? I will get it. It's in the logs. I will get it for you. We have this. So this is actually a stateful set. So I save all of those welcome message. If you subscribe, you'll get a continuation of your story. So like it has some fun there. But it saves it all to a database because one of the things is I want to actually have that on the website so you can go and see your story. Your personalized AI story. No other Twitch streamer has personalized follow messages, do they? No, I don't think so. Anyways, so it's a stateful set. It's a stateful set. This is a stateful set running. You can see that we have a Twitch alert stateful set. It actually has a SQLite, but that SQLite is actually getting replicated up to Linode with their S3 storage. And this node port, it does not work. I tried a load balancer. I cannot get communication to this stupid service. We can proxy and it works just fine. We can proxy and it works just fine. I have screwed this up so badly, I'm slightly embarrassed. I don't even know how you screw something up this badly. I'm not going to work on it tonight. I will work on this Thursday night. I want to get this one thing done really quickly on Eddington. Eddington is like an actual real product that maybe people would use or at least learn from. This was for fun. Well, cluster IP doesn't help me because the UI runs outside of the cluster, right? So even if I got a cluster IP working, it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess like I could like cluster IP to a reverse proxy out of the cluster, but I shouldn't need to. I mean, node port should work. Load balancer should work. I route a ton of stuff out of this. The Null Cloud website that is accessible right now, this right here, which is accessible, gets routed from a load balancer through Istio. That's what I said. I can actually get it with port forwarding. Port forwarding works for some reason. But yes, I can proxy into the pod and it works. Or I say proxy, but I mean port forward. It's wild. Russell and I, he's another guy that's, again, he's in Europe though, so I think Europe or Africa. So his time zone is, generally he's just on Saturday stream and on the Discord. He and I debugged this for like an hour, and then we both gave up. We were just like, we don't know. So maybe we'll look at it Thursday. If you'd like to join me Thursday for Thursday's stream, we can try to debug that because yeah, I have a bunch of services and they are all working. Well, a lot of these are cluster IP, but I mean, like, these are load balancers. So the Argo CD, we can actually open up Argo CD. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Not sure. It's garbage. I screwed it up real bad. That is all I know. All I know is I have screwed it up really badly. Okay. So I'm just removing all of the Jin stuff here because basically we'll capture all of this in the thing that calls this. Although we could, okay, I don't know. I haven't used Jin very much. We could actually pass the Jin context in here. Is that a horrible thing? So basically, this is going to get called by the Ori controller, because the Ori is going to listen on this webhook, and it's going to make the request. So we have the user controller here. So we'll do o dot user controller dot create user, and we need to pass in this object. But we could pass in this Jin context, and that feels really gross to me. But the only thing that seems nice about that is if I don't pass that in, I won't have the context of when I failed. I guess all of these are just the same. Bad status request. Never mind. I just answered it myself. They're all the exact same. Just a bad status. And returning the error. So, okay, never mind. That solved it. Rubber ducking is the best. I could say return, but I feel like that's pretty much happening already. Yeah, I was about to pass the Ori context in there, and then I realized, because what I was thinking was, I was like, oh, it'd be nice like if I was actually returning a different error context, but most of these are just like basically, if this doesn't work, it's an internal error. And I'm not going to return that. This is where I'd need better logging. But also, I think the only thing that's going to get this is the webhook. So nobody's actually getting this. They're just going to get that their sign up failed. Because when they sign up, they should be calling this. Or Ori should be calling this. Again, I don't know how I'm going to test that. That's tomorrow's. That is Merrick's problem tomorrow, not today. I think we actually just test it by pushing it to production. That's, I think, what I'm going to do. I guess we could do the HTTP status. But all of those are just going to be a bad. Actually, I think 400 is actually incorrect. This should be like a 501, right? Internal server error. Because all of these are like internal stuff. Okay. Nope, let's do it. Let's do error, and we'll just do code. We'll have it return the status code as well. Now this is like this is a Jin thing. I'm going to leave it just with the error for right now. We could actually do a better message and have this as like but we could pass our own custom error message. So never mind. This is fine. I don't know why, but it looks clean. I don't mind how I haven't. The only thing I inherently dislike about Jin is that it's really heavy for a Go project. I think, and it doesn't use the standard library context. I think those are like probably my biggest complaints so far. I've used it just about as much as I've used Bun, so like, yeah, you know how good I am with buns. All right, let's update this. It pulls two. Okay, if that's true, I'm done using it. I'm not even joking. If it pulls two Golang playground repos, I'm done using it. Oh, next week's tune in next week to see me rewrite all of this in another one. I'm not even joking. If what you're saying is true, I'm not even joking. Well, now 3 is okay because 3 is a prime number, and if there's that's okay. Because the one thing you have to realize about playground repositories is that in prime groupings, they actually make your code better. If you didn't know I was joking, I am joking. Just so you know. Okay, well, we're getting rid of Jin then, and we're moving on. I did not know that. I did not know that. I guess I will look into it before I make that statement because maybe it's something like it's their playgrounds or something that they have for like demo purposes. Maybe it's not as horrifying. It still feels pretty bad to me though. I don't know. Where was I? Okay. Yeah, that seems wild to me. I'm uncomfortable with that. Not going to lie. I'm a bit uncomfortable. And I write some pretty uncomfortable code. Let me tell you about it. I lost where I screwed up. Okay. Okay, so I need to add error codes to all these. I'd like to do it through the HTTP, right? There's a HTTP, so it's like a friendly name instead of like just the actual number. I forget what it is. It's like HTTP. Let's see. This is a server error. Why can't I think of it? Why can't I think of the stupid internal server error? Internal. There we go. Int error. Doesn't feel too bad. And then here we will return. Yeah. Good job, Copilot. Good job. In that case here then also we can just use this here. I guess we still have to have this catch here, even though code is the same. I think that's fine for right now. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm trying to get stuff done, not delay too much. Oh yeah, this isn't part of the controller group anymore. Update user is update user. Beautiful. All right. Okay. So we're done here. This should work. Now, another problem that I noticed here was this here. This doesn't work in SQLite, which is what I was testing with locally. The last insert ID fails when you're doing SQLite. It's not supported. So we'll have to refigure this out. I'd like to be able to test locally with MySQL and then deploy with Postgres. That's the idea. But we'll have to figure that out. All right, why is this? Oh, because we need to actually convert this. Okay, so this is the create user request to DB model. We have something here. You know what? That's ugly. Actually, I need to get from Jen. From Jen, I need to get the so we need the body. So one second. Let me think of what I need to do. Like a var user create user request. Oh shoot, this was needed to be a types create user request. Oh wait, user. All right, there we go. Var user. Okay, and then we can deserialize this into JSON. JSON dot unmarshal. Okay, yeah. And this should be the context request. There should be like a body on this, right? Body, yeah. And this will be our user, right? User, yeah. Okay. Last insert row ID. I'm sorry. I'm not always great yet about reading things. So here, last insert ID doesn't work on. Do you do Rust? Because they do snake case too. That's the only function this has. This return. It just is not returned if it's SQLite. Not all databases support this feature. It's not on the return type. So like on this return type, res dot, it only has these two functions. It could very well be my SQLite. Very much. I just realized I probably even mispronounced. I think I said Joe's, which J's are super confusing. If your name starts with a J, I apologize. It depends on whether you're on the southern hemisphere, if you're in Europe, or it's even like this one's tricky. If you're in Spain, I would have thought it was like Jose, but if you're in Catalan in Spain, it's a J. So Yeah, no, I was just thinking, I really mispronounced your name, most likely, and I'm sorry. I mispronounced it in so many different ways, so many different levels. I feel bad about that. I usually at least try a little. So that should have oh. So this is on the result of this exec, and that's what's not. So you're saying 1 second. Ooh. You're saying u dot database. Okay, so I don't know. We'll have to you pasted it. I told you I put you in the safe one. The weird thing is I have to like type your name, so if I mistype your name, it could be disastrous. You could have gotten everything deleted. So it requires more research because I'm using Bun. So like I have to work within what Bun gives me. If Bun gives me a last insert, on the database, but like I think I need to actually do like the table. Like I would need to do like something like this on the model. And then the only thing that I'm worried about with this, so if I do this, what if there's another parallel insert? Is it possible I don't select the one that I just inserted? Now, what I just need to do is I need to query by user ID. So, like, it's fine. I can get around it. It's just a little bit lame because I was hoping to have this nice. When you dev locally, you can dev with SQLite, and then when we deploy, we'll use Postgres as like a more production and whatnot. But it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to do that. The other thing that we could do is we could just run Postgres locally, and maybe that's the solution. I don't know. These are all future Merrick problems. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried at all. All right. Let's see. Oh. Oh. Okay, so the body is an IO read closer. Okay. So it has a reading. Okay, cool. I was wondering. Okay, so it wasn't a function; it was complaining. So we should have a read function. There we go. But we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. They were gonna want me to pass in bytes, right? Yeah. All right. Sorry about the no job. Do you have some things lined up? Working on some stuff? Uh, oh no. Oh no. Are you looking for more PM work or going back to engineering? How did you like being a PM? Is it a bad market? I don't really know. What am I doing? Let's see. We are. We need to give it some bites. So we'll do. I've never actually. I've never actually searched for a PM job, so I wouldn't know. I feel like your engineering experience should give you some. Oh, that's not at all what I meant to do. Actually, I still need that there. Oops. All right. Then we have our user, and then we can pass our user in here. Let's see. You're still unhappy. Oh, that's because this is in our models. And then our create user. We're wait, what? 1 second. What am I doing wrong here? So our function, create user takes a user. This actually is taking the wrong thing because this should take a database model. This is taking the wrong type here. My bad. Well, good luck on your job, Search. There is a Discord server with a bunch of engineers on it. I believe it is linked below the channel, so you're more than welcome to join chat. Mostly engineers, not a bunch of PMs, maybe, but you're more than welcome to join in there. We'll do what we can. I don't have any. I don't hire PMs. They're not part of my org, so I also don't have any job postings right now. So, but I'll keep my eyes posted. Oh. We have fun there. Go's still hot. Kubernetes still hot. Honestly, there's still jobs out there too. Some of the crazy hiring has gone away, and I've seen some like worse interview processes, which unfortunately the interview processes were already bad in half the places. The worst part about the interview processes. All right, so this actually looks really good, I think. The worst part about this is I don't know of a way to actually test this with Ori. So I'm going to have to research that. I can't do anything more without actually researching that. So I'm going to just make a pull request, and then I'm just going to leave it there until I research maybe how to proxy Ori stuff. 8 years of Go and Kubernetes. Cool. So, like, okay, I don't actually have a problem pushing to production, because right now production is you and me and like the 3 other people that watch me. So like honestly, that's not horrible, except it's a bad debugging experience. Just like, you know, I don't know how half this stuff will work. But I don't. Right now I don't know. I don't have a better way. The only thing I can think of is using ngrok right now, going and pushing that ngrok configuration to Ori, which means it would break my production. But maybe that's what they do. Maybe that's how Ori handles it, because like in Ori, you get like different projects. One second, I cone of silence. Yeah, you get different projects, and maybe I don't know if you have to pay per project. So I got to update to a paid. And I don't know if I get multiple projects, because right now I only get one project, and hopefully they don't charge me $30 a month per project. But my thinking is you could have like a dev one, which points to ngrok, and then a production one that doesn't, or something like that. I don't know yet. That's on my to investigate. There needs to be a way, because like I said, the only way to actually call this is from Ori at this point. And Ori is configured for production. So anyways, I will do that between now and Thursday. So I only stream chronically on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings. Now sometimes I stream some other times, but those are the times I try to. So it's like Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think I say 8:30, but it's between 8 and 9 that I start. And then on Saturdays, I start at 9-ish a.m. EDT, Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I'm trying to stream some throughout the week a little bit more if people are liking it. If more people join. Oh, thanks. Thanks for joining. I have a question for you. Would you prefer me to play and listen to music or not? I've been debating about it. Half of me says if you wanted to listen to music that you want to code to, you don't want to listen to my music. But then half of me thinks it's nice to have some sort of background sound. I don't know. So I don't know. I've been debating about it in my own head. What to do there. You have no preference, really? Okay. Well, that's what Russell said. That's what everybody said so far. Just want somebody to tell me a preference. All right, cool. I might try to just listen to music myself. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for joining me. I am going to get going for tonight. It's getting late for me. And yeah, almost midnight. So had fun. And hopefully Thursday we'll actually test some of this and maybe get it pushed out to production. See y'all. Thanks for joining, even though I destroyed your name. Sorry.